Hey guys, good morning everybody. I haven't made a video in a couple of days, just because it's been a very busy weekend, but I did want to say, or I did really want to go into a little bit about Bitcoin and Ethereum and where I think the crypto market as a whole might actually go in the next couple of weeks. Um, but before I begin, like always, please, if you have time, please give me a like. It's definitely helped the channel grow so much in the last, in the last month or two. Whenever I started, whenever you guys started really pushing the likes, it's been absolutely insane. Um, We've gotten a lot more subscribers that have come into the channel. A lot. I mean, I think I told you guys last video that for whatever, my retention is extremely high. Like a lot of 90% of the people watching my videos are subscribers, which is absolutely insane because usually what happens is, that's you have the opposite. Only like 10-20% of people that are subscribed to you actually watch your videos and everybody else is new. Mine's the complete opposite. My videos aren't really getting pushed that much to other, I don't know, like on YouTube, but my retention rate and view rate from like my current subscribers is like ridiculous. I think I have like a 90-10 split, which is like absolutely insane. I don't know if that's common or not, but that doesn't seem to be common. But it seems like you guys really like watching, or at least if you guys are current subscribers, it seems like people keep watching. Once they subscribe, they don't leave or anything, which is fantastic. It seems. But if you guys definitely can. Definitely like the video. It's completely free, helps the channel out tremendously, and it really helps push out my videos to other people that might enjoy them just as much as you guys. With that being said, I will be going into Bitcoin and why I think it's gonna crash in the next 40-50%, in the next, I don't know when, I don't have a forecast yet, but possibly another 40-50%. Right? And why I'm still bullish on it, even though it'll crash 40-50%, right? And it's a very simple. First of all, let's go into why I would still be bullish, even though it can crash 40-50%, right? Generally, if it crashes 40-50%, and if it happens fast, I probably won't be bullish. But here's a scenario where I would actually be bullish, right? And it's very, very simple. I already told you guys that I'm still very bullish on Bitcoin. That's not going to change. I think it already had a pretty good, what is it called? I think it already had a pretty good break of zone or break of trend. And, sorry, I can't think. I gotta write this down first. There we go. Cool. So it already had a really good break of zone, right? It already had a really good break of trend. This trend right here, right? I'm trying to make this as easy as possible, but this trend, right? You broke it right there, right? And you broke this way, right? That broke. That's a trend that's been going on. That started back on, November of 2021. We had the initial crash of tech and crypto, right? Started right there, the week of November 8th. You actually broke that right here. You broke that in between October 10th and the week of October 17th, right? So already, that's really the only reason I would need to be, bullish on crypto. But not only that, but we had the monthly actually give us a bullish trigger here. Obviously, you're way under that where that the entry would have been at 20,000. Where was it closed? 20,489, right? So here's a scenario of why I'm still bullish, or why I would still be bullish in certain scenarios, right? The danger zone for me, move this up a little bit. Danger zone for me is price anything under here. If you come back and you break back under this trend right here, this white line right here, and I'm just trying to make this as easy as possible for everybody to understand. If you break here, you break this trend right here, you go under here, right? Danger zone. If you go into the danger zone, go into the danger zone right here, that's going to be extremely bearish. You guys have no idea how bad that's going to be, because now that opens up, I don't want to say that opens up levels down here, because it does, but it gives you guys, it gives you guys an extremely huge, like crash zone. And by crash zone, I mean like this thing can drop heavy, right? This thing can really go down really, really fast. Like if you break under this trend here, man, you can probably see these levels, but you'll see them a lot faster is what I'm trying to say. So this trend cannot break, absolutely not break. As long as this trend doesn't break, I am still bullish. No reason for me to be bearish, right? You already broke trend. Logically, the bear market is over. even after this crash, right? Even after this crash, this is technically considered a perfect entry on Bitcoin, right? And as long as you stay above this trend, you are still technically pretty bullish towards the upside, because you're still above that November 8th, 2021 trend, right? This is your safety zone, right? Safety zone. Even at like $7,000, $7,300, right? As long as you stay above trend, you are still technically bullish. Like you're still technically not. I don't want to say like, you know, obviously if you drop that down that low, that kind of sucks. But it's still bullish TA. As long as you stay above this trend right here, you're still bullish TA, right? And as of right now, still bullish on crypto. You know, I've already told you guys, still bullish on crypto. I am expecting another drop. I would not be surprised to see $12,000 in the coming weeks. I'll be completely honest, right? It does look like you're going to be closing a violent VC on a daily VC on the daily, so a daily bear. Usually when those happens, you get a really hard, you know, generally a really hard push to the low side, right? You end up pushing hard really down. And, you know, this is, for example, this is one example, right? You actually went from 21.8 and you ended up pushing all the way down to 18.6, right? So around like a $3,000 drop. If you drop $3,000 from here, I mean, you're going to like, you know, roughly, you know, $13,000, $12,000. I wouldn't be surprised if you drop super hard, wick down here, and then kind of recover, and this is like your new zone. This would like your new zone would be like trading sideways, like right here, right? But one of the main reasons why I'm actually pretty bearish right now, and maybe not this week, but next week, right, is, you know, recently, and again, if you want access to these indicators, you can, you know, you can join the Patreon, right? But on these 2-week triggers, you're about to close a 2-week trigger sometime either today, if we actually drop a little bit further on Bitcoin, or we close it next week, right? But generally, you know, what happened on this 2-week trigger, right? This last time that it happened, that it occurred around the same level, ended up dropping from here. You know, you dropped 55% in 42 days, right? With that 2-week trigger. And if we look at similar instances of that happening, like you generally have a really good, let me see where we are. Stochastic is pretty low. So we'll look for another similar entry here. So same thing here, right? Drop from there all the way down here, and you drop 50% in 28 days, right? And then again here. Where's my forecast? Here. And this really was more of a precursor than anything, but still, you dropped from, you know, you went down from highs to lows. You dropped 25% in 14 days, right? So still, I think as far as like the chart goes, that's like the only instance that we actually have of that happening, I think, where we have the stochastic that lows and we actually have a drop like that on Bitcoin. And the same thing happened with Ethereum, right? Generally, your drops are going to be within, you know, 30 days or so, like 50% on this 2-week trigger, which is absolutely insane. So as of right now, you know, from this high, I would be forecasting, and it's not even hit yet, right? This isn't even the actual, you know, the actual trigger yet. You would probably have somewhere on this side. But if you were to forecast it right now, you know, let's go with 42 days, 50% drop. We'll do 51%, right? So a 50% drop would take us down to, you know, 50% drop would take us down to $10,000 Bitcoin, right? $10,000 Bitcoin in 42 days or so. And you would still be in the safety zone, and I would still be bullish, and I would still think that this is probably still bullish momentum. As long as you're not in the danger zone, you're not back under this trend, you're still bullish. But if I had a forecast from here, this is bad, man, right? This is not good. Like you can drop to 10K in the next, you know, by January or something, right? And the funky part is you're looking at the same thing for, I mean, the same thing for Ethereum, same thing for, you know, all the alts are probably going to lose another 50%, but the same thing, you know, for the Nasdaq, right? The Nasdaq on the weekly, it looks pretty gross. Like you can definitely come back all the way from here, and you can drop by Friday, this upcoming Friday, you can go back to like 10,717 by this week Friday or next week, right? I know the market's closed for Thanksgiving, but you can definitely start seeing significant drops. Like you're on the second day of a bear trigger here for the Nasdaq, right? for the NASDAQ and for the SPX. Usually what happens in the dailies, right? Dailies are pretty significant where you see these drops from, 11.6 down to 10.6. Actually, I'll probably show the SPX because it's probably a better example. But, the daily triggers are a pretty good example of where you can drop from, right? 390 down to 370, right? Another daily trigger here. You drop from, 375 down to 350, right? Another daily trigger here, right? You drop from 414. That kept pushing all the way down to, you could say like 383 before a recovery, but then you kept going to 355, right? Daily trigger, right? Right on trend, right exactly where we are. You went from 430 and that drop kept going all the way down to 411, right? So $40 drop. So again, you're not exactly on trend yet, right? But you did actually break this trend, came back, retested, and generally what could happen right now is you can keep pushing towards trend before it drop, or you can actually drop from here. I actually am I'm more bearish than bullish right now. I actually think that we could keep dropping to the low side. If you guys can see here, right, you actually have the SPX almost overtaking this bear candle there on the daily, but on the NASDAQ, it's complete opposite. You actually have a full candle under the close of Thursday, which is pretty telling. It's pretty telling because the NASDAQ usually leads first. With big tech dropping, I really don't think SPX is going to survive. And again, same thing for Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I think you've started that descent to the low side. At least right now, short term back to 15.75, but the next drop after that is going to be 12.3. And Bitcoin dropping, down to 12.1 in the next 30-40 days wouldn't surprise me. But you would still be bullish because you're above this trend. You're still in the safety zone, right? Danger zone is breaking back under this trend, which would take us to really ridiculously low prices in a very violent way. But if you manage to drop here by, let's say, like December 3rd, right? You would still be in the safety zone and this would still be bullish momentum, right? You would still be bullish because you're still above that major trend. But again, it does look like Ethereum and Bitcoin and everything else might actually keep going a lot lower, at least another 50% drop, 50% drop from here in the next month or two or so. But, I would still consider this, I don't want to say bullish momentum because it's obviously not, but you would still be in the safety zone because you're still above that bear trend that you broke like a month ago or a month or two ago, right? So generally that's what I wanted to say. The Ethereum on the 2-week is already going to be closing today. Generally on the drops, Ethereum has been leading. So, with this closing, I could definitely see Ethereum go from, 15.99, let's say, another like a 50% drop from here. Let's go in 42 days. 50% drop would take us down to, sure, let's do that, like a 775 Ethereum. Somewhere around that range. Like, I would not be surprised to see Ethereum like here, right? Like, that would not be surprising to me. And that's generally what we're thinking right now, or what I'm thinking right now. Somewhere between like early December, late January, somewhere on this level. Would not be surprised as of right now if we keep dropping lower, to this level right here. And it seems extremely likely. So with that being said, I'll cut the video out right there. Everybody, I'd say right now it's not really, I'm not really too worried, right? But if we start breaking trend, I'll definitely make a video again. But if we start breaking this trend to the low end, oh man, I think things can get really bad. Worse than they are now. But I think that TA wise, it can get really, really bad really fast. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.